Shelley Duvall is one of those Hollywood enigmas where it kind of captures the 1970s version of beauty, right? Super unique looking, but a very talented actress. She's completely disappeared off of the face of the earth until very recently. So I kind of sat down and I thought to myself, what happened to Shelley Duvall? Right? Where did she go and why did she disappear? Now, the average consensus is that she left Hollywood because of The Shining, right? That's what most people think. Now, would you believe me if I told you that that had nothing to do with it? So firstly, let's just have a bit of a look at Shelley's career. So she kind of started acting in 1970. She first appeared on a movie called Brewster McCloud. And very interestingly, she met the director at a party. And she kind of came in, she was this really big, bubbly personality, and she was obviously very unique looking, as I mentioned, right? She was beautiful. I've always thought that she was truly, truly a beautiful woman. And she just impressed the director so much with her unique energy that she got casted in a movie. Boof, as easy as that. I mean, that's like in the 70s when shit like that could happen. Now you do that and you get escorted off of the property. But that's kind of where her acting career started. And she did a lot of work, but the real big thing was obviously The Shining in 1980. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, one of the most meticulous and anal filmmakers of all time. I've just realized he's dead too. I didn't realize he was dead. But he really put her through the ringer. A lot of people didn't know if she was going to kind of recover from that. And I think that that definitely had a big emotional impact on her. But that is what, without a doubt, put it on the map. Sorry, put her on the map, rather. I actually watched The Shining recently. I bought the Blu-ray version, and it's just as amazing as ever. She's fantastic in it. The movie is just incredible. So a lot of people thought that because of her treatment and her experience on The Shining, that that's why she left Hollywood. Now, the treatment that she did go through on The Shining was pretty darn intense, right? Stanley Kubrick was a dick. He intentionally isolated her from the rest of the production crew, wanting her to feel alone and isolated and vulnerable and completely desolate, right? Just as her character would have been portrayed in the movie, right? So he intentionally had production stay away from her while they were shooting, unless it was essential. And shooting lasted for 56 weeks, right? More than a year of her feeling super vulnerable and super alone. Stanley Kubrick was also a enormous ass and very precise when it came to the shit that he would film. He would do retakes galore. Look at the scene from The Shining. So this is the infamous baseball bat scene, and she's freaked out, dude, right? So remember, they had to shoot this 127 times. Stanley Kubrick was nuts, wanting to get the perfect shot every single go.
Live up to my responsibilities. Has it ever occurred to you? Has it?
Stay away from me.
Why?
I just want to go back to my room.
Why?
He's mad. He's angry.
I'm very confused.
Dude, the acting is great, right? But look at this. She has to be upset, right? Now think about when you film this sort of stuff.
What's a few minutes more gonna do you now?
Stay away from me. Please. Don't hurt me.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Stay away from me.
Wendy,
Stay away.
It's so
darling,
tough.
light of my life. I'm not gonna hurt you. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you.
See how, okay, so you see how upset she is. I'm gonna pause it there. She was supposed to be emotional, and she was supposed to be raw and extremely heartbroken, right? And just crying her eyes out. Imagine filming that 127 times. She actively spoke about how her body just wouldn't comprehend what she's trying to do to force this emotion out of her. Imagine having to film that 127 times. So she's obviously grabbing that bat, right? Her skin was completely peeling and it was just raw. That poor woman. Did you know that she also developed a smoking habit because of the fact that Stanley Kubrick wanted her to smoke? She didn't really dabble in smoking too much, but Stanley Kubrick wanted her character to smoke. So she smoked so much that she became addicted to smoking, which she then had for a really long time. Anyway, so because of all these factors and Stanley Kubrick apparently bullying her quite a lot to get her character more gross, People thought that that's why she left Hollywood. She just had enough of it after a while, but that's actually not the case. Listen to this. So quite recently, she was interviewed by ScreenRant.com. A convergence of setbacks steered Shelley Duvall out of Hollywood in the early 2000s. In the 90s, film roles for Duvall began to dry up, right? And the movies she did appear in, like My Teacher Ate My Homework, Tale of the Mummy, and The Fourth Floor, were all unremarked upon. Around the same time, Duvall's brother got sick with cancer, and it was then that she really felt the need to return home. Also, in 1994, an earthquake struck near her house in LA, and the difficult aftermath dealing with FEMA, insurance, and other agencies appears to have soured Duvall on Hollywood and the industry. I don't really get that, right? I mean, I don't really understand how a earthquake can make you want to change careers, but hey, bro, maybe that was the earthquake that shatters everybody's asses. I don't know, maybe that was just a bit of an excuse. The cancer thing totally makes sense, though. When asked if the earthquake was the final straw for her returning to Texas, she responds, yeah, they wear you out, man. Thus, it was not one single thing that made Duvall leave Hollywood, but various problems she was facing at the same time. Duvall said, it's the longest sabbatical I ever took, but it was for really important reasons, to get in touch with my family again. Duvall spent 30 years in the industry and appeared in some massive critical, commercial, and cultural hits. And while her departure was sudden, it was after an impressive and relatively long career. Now, she is back, right? Very recently, there's been this footage that has come out of her, which is obviously great, right? But I mean, people remember her as being that beautiful, slender, unique-looking woman. And she was quite the opposite when she sort of reappeared. So she appeared on Dr. Phil, and there's like a 45-minute episode of him talking to her. And to be honest, a lot of it is quite nuts. People came out and were obviously worried about her, first and foremost, but a lot of people thought that Dr. Phil was exploiting Shelley Duvall. I mean, Dr. Phil has never exploited any of his guests before. But I want you to have a look at this, right? This is the 30-second promo that they used to advertise Shelley Duvall's episode.
Friday on an all-new Dr. Phil. The Shining's Shelley Duvall, from red carpet to near recluse.
I loved Robin Williams. I don't think he's dead.
Where do you think he is?
Shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting.
Yes.
Shape-shifting.
Star's descent into mental illness.
The man who's threatening me is the sheriff of Nottingham. I think there's a worrying disc inside me. I'm very sick. I need help.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Damn, Dr. Phil. You know he's not even a doctor. Dude can barely do his own paperwork, man. You want to trust him with your mental health. So you can obviously tell that that's over-the-top edited, right? That doesn't seem 100% legitimate and okay. But it kind of came and went, and people saw her and went, oh, look, it's Shelley Duvall. A lot of people obviously commented on the fact that she looks wildly different now. I'm not going to make fun of her at all because I love Shelley Duvall. I think she's super talented, and I, for one, would love to have her back in Hollywood. This was something that kind of went unnoticed just a little bit. There's this horror YouTuber guy that met up with Shelley Duvall and just kind of spoke to her a little bit, but I just want to play you this. Just have a look at this.
Never in my entire life.
Dude, look at her, man. She's in a car. She's got like chicken tender boxes on her passenger seat.
Right? And
Bless her, man. I don't know. I don't know what could have happened with her.
We spent pretty much the entire day together. We went out, we had lunch.
Oh, bless her. She's wearing one of these bracelets.
Took us to the park.
It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. She looks so different. I think she's obviously just gone through a lot of stuff. Anyways, this video is pretty much just her sat in this car talking to him, and then eventually they just leave. I mean, look at this. Oh, bless you, Shelley Duvall. It makes me so sad. You know, it's kind of like somebody's gran, and you just want to hold her tight and just give her some money and feed her, even though she's supposed to feed you. So, Shelley Duvall did not leave Hollywood because of The Shining. She's had a very interesting, tumultuous career, but she left because her brother got cancer. Now she's back. She's naturally older, but I am glad to see her in some fresh stuff. She's appearing in this movie called The Forest Drive, I believe. What is it called? The Forest Hills. It came out last year. The ratings are actually pretty decent. This is her scene in the movie. Whatever. I'm glad she's back.